Okay guys, today we are doing a tool video. What we're going to do a tool video on is, see this guy right here, this is an AN fitting. You can take this off, it's loose on here. So it is on the end of this fuel line. It's kind of hard to see in here because it's tucked down. We can pull it up, there we are. This is an AN to fuel line adapter. And what this is, they call this a GM style quick connect. Let me go grab a wrench and show you what we have here. Now, these adapters come in a few different flavors. This one is the thread-on style, which I prefer because it can't go anywhere. But what we got, as I can get this off, is a slotted piece that fits over the line, and then this guy, you can see now this is a GM style quick connect. So there's an O-ring inside of here and it just slides on and then you thread in the back side. Now there are this style also that have a little like clip on the back, and that is a perfectly acceptable style. So what we're going to do in this video is show you how to make these. And this is a reusable quick connect fitting that's on there. Now you just hook your ANs up to it, so you've adapted your hardline to AN pretty simply. So I'm going to show you the tool to make this one. We'll just build this one here into one of these. So this is the tool we're going to be using today. It's the Universal Hydraulic Flaring Tool Set with Tube Cutter from Mastercool, part number 71475-PRC, or if you wanted to buy it from, I think, Snap-on, here's the part number. This guy's kind of expensive, but it does all kinds of cool stuff. So when you open it up, here is the tool. It's a single hydraulic body that has a whole bunch of different flaring tool options. The one we're going to be using today is this push connect forming tool. And here is the die for that. And then over here is the mandrel 5/16. So I'm going to show you how we use this guy in just a second here. Now I hadn't done this one yet because the line is kind of short and it's got this rubberized coating on it, and I wasn't sure if I could cut the end off and get my tool on with enough space to flare this correctly where it's at. So we're going to see if I mess it up and it's dead, then it's dead, and I'm just going to have to do a different line. So I had previously just used this as the fuel feed and this was the fuel return, but we're going to get this one connected hopefully for you in this video. Now lucky for me, the car is super gutted and I was able to just pull the fuel line all the way out. So I'm going to start by just very carefully trying to cut this rubber guard off. And if I scratch this line too bad, it'll cause problems down the road trying to seal an O-ring on it. But it looks like I got it pretty good, almost got her. There we go. That should be. Drop the camera. Alright, got that off there. Now what we're going to do is we need to cut the end where we're not going to have a bubble flare anymore. So I got my handy dandy cutter. We're going to try to cut as little as possible. So right up to it. Oh, I got to go a little bit to that side. There we go. This one's kind of nice because it ratchets, so you can do it in tight quarters. There was no way I was going to be able to film this down in that spot. Probably could have made it work. I did the other line without pulling the line out, but because the car is so gutted, it was pretty easy to pull the line out, so I figured it'd be better for the video. So we start by using the tube cutter instead of a saw or anything. When you use a saw, you get debris inside the line. Oops, going the wrong way here. Alright, so the tube's cut, and the nice thing is there's no debris in the line, and it doesn't leave a big burr on it either. Oops, I dropped it, so here's the end that we just took off. So there are a lot of methods for straightening these tubes. My go-to is just a screwdriver. I'm just going to put that inside and kind of Give it a little bit. See, and we're not deforming it too much as we're straightening it. What you don't want to do is pinch the line when you're straightening it. All right, I think that's not too much curve. I think we can make this work. All right, so we're straightened out. Looks like we have enough straight here to put our die on. So we're going to crimp that into the tool. Let's take the mandrel out there. So like I said, in the car, this is kind of a pain in the butt, but it is possible. Let's make sure that the end is lined up. You can see the end of the tube is just right there at the edge. So now we're going to cinch this guy down real good. All right, now put the mandrel in. And we're going to thread it in with the body first, as far as it'll go. Let's get the hydraulic on there. All right, now we're going to start pumping it in. And you want to check and make sure that on this end it's not pushing it out, which would mean that you didn't quite get it tight enough. We got pressure. In this particular flare, you go all the way till it bottoms out and give it a good last squeeze there. All right, so then you're gonna undo the pressure and you're gonna unthread the tool. When you get to the end, it should just pop out. It's gonna give you a little bit of tension and you'll watch it, it'll just spring out, usually. There it goes. All right, unthread a little bit more. Now there's no television magic here. This was a straight piece of line a second ago. Now, unthread it. Now we have a truck driving by. So now we have a quick connect fitting that line, wherever it went. I just went ahead and grabbed another one. This is the kind with the pinch style, but it's going to go directly on there and then it locks in place. And now you have a hard line to AN. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in and then you pinch that line and it comes out. And you can see this actually hangs out on there. So that when you take the line off, it's just like that. Now, one thing to note, these lines that are coated like this, if you do this a few hundred times, sometimes the coating will start to peel off. But the O-rings, there's a double O-ring inside these. The O-rings still tend to seal. I haven't seen any problems with them leaking, even after many clips and unclips. But yeah, that's how you turn a hard line into a quick connect. And this tool, you can do it in the car. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it is possible. So that's my tool review for the day. As I said, this tool does all kinds of other line fitting, forming. Earlier I pointed to the GM fuel line forming. Sorry, that was incorrect. It was the push connect forming. It's this guy down here. And this is probably it's the main reason I bought this tool, is because it came with this particular set. It does 1/4 inch, 5/16, and 3/8. So if you need big boy fuel line, 3/8, this is 3/8 is pretty big as far as hardline goes. GTRs, factory R35 GTRs come with 3/8 line. A lot of American muscle cars come with 3/8 line, especially deadhead fuel system cars. So this can do the push connect forming for that. You use this guy here. That line was 5/16. 5/16 will support 800 horsepower. So 3/8, you're looking at 1200 plus. Anyway, yeah, there's all kinds of metric bubble flares, flaring, double flaring, but what I mostly use this for is this push connect. And again, I'll get the tool part number. Oops, that's the other downside. Again, it's the universal hydraulic flaring tool set from Mastercool. It is kind of expensive, but it's a good thing to spend your good old COVID refund on when it shows up, if you like building stuff in your garage. So thanks for watching.